All right, welcome to this deep dive.
Yeah, great to be digging into this one.
So we've got this really interesting source you brought us. It's a YouTube interview transcript.
That's right, from the Viet Cetera channel featuring Ton Fam.
Okay. And the plan today, our mission, is really just to get into this conversation, pull out those key, nuggets of wisdom he shares.
Exactly. Cut through the noise, get to his perspective on life, career, love.
Yeah, help you get informed fast about his unique viewpoint.
Hmm.
So right off the bat, he talks about himself, right? Energetic, likes to lead. But he also admits he kind of takes on too much sometimes, that dome feeling.
Yeah, trying to do everything perfectly all at once. And that, immediately brings up one of his first big lessons, doesn't it?
Which is?
Well, that you just can't do everything well. It sounds simple, but accepting that is the first step. Then you got to focus that energy on your strength.
Right, amplify the strengths. And he puts such a huge emphasis on your environment, that saying.
Near ink, turn black. Near light, turn bright.
Yeah.
He really believes that.
He does, and he links it straight to, personal responsibility. If you want good things around you, good people, you have to be that positive force first. Like attracts likes, essentially. And he actually used this actively to counter, a fortune teller who told him he'd have bad friends. He decided to change his inner state first.
Believing his internal water element could beat fate. Wow.
Exactly. Shifting his own frequency.
That's powerful. Changing your inner world to affect the outer.
Precisely. And it connects to what he says about, negative people, too.
Right. You can't really change them if they don't want to change.
Yeah, the work starts with you. Untangle your own knots. Nobody else is going to fix your life for you. It all comes from within.
Okay, so let's look at how this played out in his career choices then. He talks about focusing 100% on MC work, even though apparently he initially loved acting more. Right, which ties straight back to that focus on strengths idea. He mentions this concept from a book he read.
Oh, yeah.
That really stuck with him. You can't change the world being average. Don't waste time fixing weaknesses, he argues. Pour that energy into what you're good at. That's where you get the real impact, the circumference, as he puts it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So for young people kind of finding their way, his advice seems really practical. It's tough early on to know the exact right thing. So he says, prioritize what you should do. Skills, experience, getting financially stable.
Yeah, build that foundation first.
Before just chasing what you like most. Like him putting acting aside for MC and business first. That was his example.
And he even has the specific way he suggests finding those strengths.
The 3 compliments thing.
Exactly. Pay attention if 3 separate people compliment you on the same skill. That's probably it. He uses the example of being great at math versus okay at literature.
Right. Don't just try to get literature up to a C. Focus on getting A's in math.
Yeah. Get those 9s and 10s first. Amplify the good stuff.
You can kind of see it working for him, right? The Sonos mentions his recent MC success, Gokua Natam Ranu Kensi, hosting a red carpet, a music festival.
Yeah, those didn't just fall into his lap.
He's clear on that.
Very. Opportunities come from doing good work consistently and also from being proactive, asking for things. But, and here's that line again, if you have the opportunity, you must do well.
No one gives too many chances to someone who only knows how to ask. Yeah, I like that.
It's good, right. But then he brings it back again. To get those good opportunities, you first have to be a good person. It's always that internal shift first.
That really is the through line.
Yeah.
Okay, what about that classic problem, though? Entry-level job needs experience. How does he tackle that?
His advice is basically start smaller,
Yeah.
Don't aim for the big HQ right away.
Go for the small base.
Yeah. Go to those smaller companies, maybe less glamorous places, build your skills, your energy, your experience there. Then you use that foundation to step up later.
Makes sense. He also talked about overcoming an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
Linked to his family's financial situation.
Yeah, and his strategy wasn't just thinking positively.
Yeah.
It was intense preparation, studying, English tutors, piano, reading, building real substance. Confidence for him comes from being prepared, from Gian Bak Vatrithak, money and knowledge.
So confidence built on a solid foundation, not just hot air.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on to challenges. He has this concept of the 80% hump, or chung.
That really tough patch, right? Just before things potentially break through, but it feels like you've stalled or even going backwards.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people just, You give up.
Exactly. So his point is persistence right there is absolutely key. Pushing through that specific resistance.
Here's a but, right?
Yeah.
It can't just be blind persistence.
There is. He adds this really important nuance. Persistence is crucial, yes, but you also need the wisdom, the clarity to know if you're hitting that 80% hump in something you're actually good at, or if you're just, banging your head against a wall.
Pursuing something that isn't really your strength.
Right. He suggests maybe giving something 2-3 years max. If there's no progress, it might just not be your thing. Kung faila taman ko kakben.
Yeah.
You need to be tavasungsut, clear-headed and wise to tell the difference.
Are you pushing through a dip or clinging to the wrong thing?
Yeah, that's the crucial question. He's also pretty big on pressure, thinks it's vital for young people.
For growth.
Yeah. And he gives a pretty stark warning, actually.
Which is?
If you're not strict with yourself now, if you don't do the hulian, the hard training, the effort, then in 5 or 7 years, you'll just be on the sidelines watching others succeed. Success takes discipline, basically. Hard work.
No shortcuts, it seems.
Seems that way, according to him.
Okay, let's totally switch gears now. Relationships. And this brings back that be yourself idea, but with a twist.
Yeah, quite a twist. He actually argues that be yourself can be really harmful advice.
Harmful? How so?
Well, specifically in relationships, if your current self isn't great, if you're, as he puts it, Kim, weak, or Konkodao, unethical, or just generally Rolen, a mess.
I see. So being that self isn't going to help you build healthy connections.
Exactly. It might actually sabotage them.
Interesting. And he's pretty open about where he's at right now. Exploring things feels a bit murky.
Yeah, not in a defined relationship. And what's fascinating is he points out this personal sticking point for himself, a kukmek.
What's that?
He advises other people to be proactive, make the first move if you like someone.
Right.
But he admits something holds him back from doing it, even when he thinks there's mutual interest. It's a personal hurdle he's aware of.
Huh. Self-awareness again? He also calls himself King Ton Picky.
He does, yeah. But he actually frames that pickiness as a good thing.
Okay. How's that a good?
As a strategy to avoid, toxic relationships. He doesn't rush. He needs time. He suggests maybe 1 to 3 months just getting to know someone properly, understand them.
So what's the number one thing then? If he's being picky, what's top of the list?
Okay. Number 1, hands down, respect.
Respect. That's big.
And he's specific about it. Respect for work, for busy schedules, for family, for personal space. He reckons if you can get past that respect hurdle, you're like 50% of the way there.
Wow. Okay. So respect is the foundation. What comes next?
After respect, compatibility in job and goals. And importantly, financial independence.
Right. He mentioned that, not wanting a huge imbalance.
Exactly. He says, can't just fall for someone super rich if it creates inequality. He wants that bindung, that sense of partnership, a relationship that brings peace, not money worries or career stress.
Okay, makes total sense. Anything else?
Yeah, compatible personality. He wants someone fun, a good listener, and just overall good character, ethical, conscious, and enjoyable to be around. Fun.
Got it. He also seems pretty firm on loyalty. Says he'd never cheat.
Very firm. He calls himself a gift to a future partner in that sense.
And looking long term, does he believe in the one?
He does seem to, yes. But he's also characteristically very pragmatic.
How so? What's the pragmatic part?
He has a plan B. If he's not married by 30, he says Toy Sinkon, he'll have a child anyway. He clearly wants that feeling of a complete family one way or another.
That's quite a plan. Just quickly, that career prediction from the card reading in the source, did we touch on that?
Oh, yeah, the 2022 prediction. It was very positive for his MC career predicting recognition, Suk Kongnan, and reaching a high position, Muz Tren Vi Tre Kao, which, ties back to his goal of inspiring people through his own journey.
Right. Makes sense.
So if we kind of pull all these threads together, what really emerges? What are the core themes?
Really these big takeaways, yeah.
Well, definitely that power of internal change driving external results. That focus on strengths, not weaknesses. The role of environment, but starting with yourself. Confidence coming from solid preparation, that knowledge and financial base. Navigating challenges with both persistence and wisdom, knowing when to push, when to pivot, and then this really deliberate, criteria-driven approach to relationships with respect as the absolute bedrock.
Yeah, that all tracks. And his final message in the interview? his overarching thought.
It was really about striving for balance, wasn't it? He believes you can have both a successful career and a great relationship, achieve that real happiness.
Which is helpful,
Yeah.
though he did add that little comment about maybe not being too picky.
Haha, yeah, just a slight contradiction there after laying out all the criteria. A nice human touch.
A little self-awareness, yeah. Never hurts.
Definitely not.
Right. Well, that brings us towards the end of this deep dive. It's always so valuable to dig into someone's actual words and thinking like this, isn't it?
Absolutely. You get a much clearer picture of their framework, their strategies, how they see the world.
Yeah. So thanks for, going on this exploration with us.
My pleasure. It was a fascinating discussion.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on, building on everything we've discussed about Turnfam's approach. Considering his journey, which really emphasizes such careful planning, choosing environments, setting these clear criteria for, well, everything career relationships, how do you balance the power of that kind of deliberate choice and planning in your own life with, all the unexpected stuff, the twists and turns that just inevitably happen?